Ba 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 ba. I think I'm doing like three topics and I'm out. I think I'm gonna do three topics and I'm out. I think I'm gonna do three topics and I'm out. I think I'm gonna do three topics and I'm out. I think I'm going to do three topics and I'm out. I think I'm going to do three topics and I'm out. I think three. It might be more than three. I say that now. Let me get this off my screen. Let me see. All right. I think I will do three topics and I will be out. Okay. It's your cat it's your casual cinema, bro. What if I started out every live like that? I need like a live theme music or like some type of like intro, like it's your casual cinema, bro. Hey son, where'd you find this? Some type of drops or whatever. Something like that. I think so. Maybe not. It's your casual cinema, bro. Or what else could I do? Get people saying, shh, the movie's about to start. Casual cinema, bro. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just spitballing fucking ideas, you know? I'm just spitballing fucking ideas, you know? I don't got nothing really pegged down or whatever. I had to let that out. My bad. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start for real, for real. If you want me to be honest. There's so much stuff that just came out in the last. Hang on, I gotta do this one more time. But I want you guys to hear it. You probably saw it still. Oh, it was pretty nasty. It's your casual cinema, bro. All right, so I need to record myself doing that, and then I record people saying, "Shh, the movie's about to start." Casual cinema, bro, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll come up with an intro. You know what I'm saying? Casual cinema, bro. But anyway, I guess we'll start with what's on my screen here first, because I refreshed the page and Destiny has placed this motherfucker on my screen. And it's the picture of Naruto. Yes, Naruto. Everybody's lovable ninja, knucklehead ninja, hyperactive ninja is apparently going to get his own universe being announced in the NYCC Comic Con or New York City Comic Con on October 10th. Okay. Yes, Naruto's supposed to be getting a live action movie directed by Destin Daniels Conrad or Destin Daniels. What's his name? Hang on. I think I got something here. Destin Daniels Crinton, the director of Spider Man Brand New Day, a movie that's made $2 billion, is now going to be taking his talents to direct a live action Spider Man film. And how do I feel about a live action? Oh, I said live action Spider-Man film. He's taking his talents to make a live action Naruto film. And I gotta be honest with you, as an anime lover, as an anime watcher, viewer, connoisseur, just fan of just that, what is it, genre, or just fan of just anime. I'm just gonna put it like that. I'm a little nervous. Live action and anime has never doesn't mix very well. I gotta be honest with you. It's almost like water and oil. There's only maybe one that I can name off at the top of my head live action anime that sort of works, and that's the One Piece live action. But other than that, there's been so many bad live action adaptations of animes, and I'm gonna just name probably one of the worst ones. I'll name the top two that comes to everyone's mind is the live action Dragon Ball Z, the live action Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Evolution, one of the worst anime adaptations ever to grace the screens. Still gives people nightmares to this day. Horrible. Number two, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not the animation, but the live action one. Another. Now I'll say this, and before I mentioned, there's only two good live actions, or there's the only other good live action there is was One Piece. I'll even say the Netflix having the Last Airbender live action's pretty good. But before this one, it was the M. Night Shyamalan version. He tried to do one. Horrible. Horrible. Okay? So these two live actions between the M. Night Shyamalan live action and Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Evolutions are some of the worst live action animes to ever grace the fucking screen. Okay? So as a fan, you get a little nervous when you see certain stuff like this. It's like, damn, Naruto is loved by a lot of people. You don't want to see anybody fuck up a series you hold near and dear to your heart. You just don't. You just don't. But I do feel a lot better now with knowing that Destin Daniels Cretton is the director of the Naruto live action. I liked his work with Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I thought he did a great job with Shang-Chi. There are some fight scenes in Shang-Chi that I think really worked if he was going to do like an anime adaptation. This is the type of stuff we want to see. Like, let's compare a fight scene from, I'll pick Dragon Ball Evolution, and then I'll also pick a fight scene from Shang-Chi. And I kind of like what he has going. I'm not mad at it if he's going to be the director. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull everything back up on screen. I'm not mad if he's going to be the director. Dragon Ball Evolution. Let's see how they fight, because this already looks like some bullshit. So this is what Dragon Ball Evolution was looking like when it came to fight scenes. And like I said, I'll show you how Destin Daniels Cretton did Shang-Chi, and why I have a little bit more hope after watching Shang-Chi and Spider-Man for this live action Naruto movie. So this is Dragon Ball Evolution. Let me see here. Let's see if we can get some fight scenes going. First of all, yeah, look at this shit. If you know anything about Dragon Ball Z, What they just did here looks like some bullshit. No. This is literally a Tubi movie that was just a way ahead of its time. Before we had Tubi, if Tubi was out back then, Dragon Ball Evolution would have went on Tubi. If I'm gonna be honest, because what is this bullshit? This is the type of shit we deal with as anime fans when people want to bring live action to anime and everything. It's just really hard to do. It's just hard. I don't know why people don't get it right. Sometimes I believe it's because the people who are it's Hollywood wanting to make these movies, but they don't have anybody that's an actual fan of the series making a movie. Like the one of the reasons why I think One Piece, the live action on Netflix works, is because one of the showrunners is actually a fan of One Piece. You know, they read the manga. I don't know if he's still the showrunner anymore, but last time I checked, he was a fan. So I do think maybe it's a little bit of that, and also just it's just hard to do to replicate that shit they be doing in anime. So, like I said, that was Dragon Ball Evolution. I did say I was gonna do Shang-Chi and why I kind of have hope for Naruto. Oh, I said Shang-Chi Naruto. Like, there's about to be some heat. Hold up, buckle up, kids. Let me see. So this is Destin Daniels' and this is Shang-Chi. If he's gonna be doing Naruto like this, I'm with it. Let's get them fighting. Here we go. They just hang on. I don't need to see them. All right, here we go. Yeah, like I can see it now. Naruto with the chakra, you know, I can see them now getting busy. If he gonna do stuff like this and not what we just saw on Dragon Ball Evolution, I can get down with this. No, let me stop because then Marvel about to end my streams and shit, cut my shit off on YouTube, and then I'll be all fucked up and whatnot. And hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying, comparing those two scenes. Like one was just wasn't good. Or it just one was bad and one was good. And I just think if Daniel Dustin Critton, Daniel Dustin is Daniel. If Destin Daniel Critton is behind it, I have faith. So, but that's not the only thing that was came out about Naruto today. What also came out was Charles Melton is in talks to star as Kakashi so Charles Melton is in talks to star as Kakashi in a live action Naruto movie. Um, that was released today, which is kind of took the internet by storm because maybe a few weeks ago, Charles Melton was also in talks of being. See, we can find some old tweets here. He was in talks of being Beast for the X-Men. Yes, he was supposed to be Beast. Okay. Now, eventually, rumors or reports came out that he dropped out from playing Beast or whatever, There was nothing fully reported, or let me see if we can find the actual studio. So yeah, so anyway, it was rumored that he was going to be playing Beast. He was the I think the only name really coming up for it, and then eventually he dropped out. Okay, people are wondering like maybe it was just a rumor after all. Maybe he wasn't actually playing Beast. What happened? What happened? Now today it comes out that he's in talks to playing as Kakashi for Naruto. And I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. I think this is a pretty good move. I don't blame him. I get it. I get it. This was a smart business decision by Charles here. And I'm gonna tell you why. He's a good looking guy. He's a good looking guy, okay? You see the cheekbones, you see the nose, you see the chin. Show that off. I mean, yes, Kakashi's face is pretty covered up, but it beats being covered in blue prosthetics and fur for all filming and everything while you're filming for X-Men. You know, it's the difference between knowing who an NBA player is versus knowing an NFL player because they always have their helmet on and whatnot. Show off your good looks. Save Beast for better at wasn't I got another question for you. Who were the last two people to play the character Beast? I'm gonna give people time. Who were the last two actors to play as Beef? Who were the last two actors to play as Beast in these Marvel films? We don't even know who played Mystique. The first Mystique, at least. Maybe the second one. But if you don't know who played the last two Beasts, I'll tell you. It was Kelsey Grammer, and I want to also say the nigga who played as Lex Luthor. I don't even know his name. Let me see here. First Class. Nicholas Holt. So the last two people to play Beast was Nicholas Holt and Kelsey Grammer. This is a good business decision. You're working with a director who just made $2 billion in the box office, so he got all the cachet right now to even do a live action Naruto. If this movie is successful, you at least set up for maybe I don't know how long this universe is going to go on, but you at least set up for at least two Naruto movies. It's going to make money. It's Naruto, you know. So I think this is a great business decision by him. I'm not mad at it. I know some people was like, "Oh my gosh, why would he pick doing a anime live action versus X-Men?" Like, hey, listen, gets his face out there, and it's still with Naruto. I'm like, we're not going to sleep on fucking Naruto here. I mean, I'm not saying it's the X-Men, but it's just that's just as good. So all I'm saying is, I get it. I get it. But speaking of X-Men, I have not talked about the casting that was done almost a week ago, starting what Friday. Friday would make it a week. I haven't talked about the casting, so I figure why not. So the X-Men cast has finally came out. Let's take a look real quick here. We got Christopher Abbott as Professor X, Kit Connor as Cyclops, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, Maya Boyd as Storm, Indy Neverready as Rogue, Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister, and Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Not a bad cast, okay? I think Marvel did a pretty good job here. I would overall give this cast, I'd give them an A minus for this. I think it averages out to an A minus. I'm gonna tell you how they get their A minus here. Let's take a look at some of the stuff here. Okay, so as far as their S tier casting, as far as S tier casting goes, I got Samara Weaving, Emma Frost as S tier casting. I think this is excellent here. She looks just like Emma Frost. I don't think you can pick a better Emma Frost. And I think a lazy casting for Emma Frost would have been like Sydney Sweeney. I think that would have been the lazy casting for Emma Frost. If X-Men was still being handled by Sony, Sydney Sweeney would have been cast as Emma Frost for sure. I bet my what's the saying? Bottom dollar, is that the saying? That Sony would have casted Emma Frost as, or Sydney Sweeney as Emma Frost. Okay, so this was an S tier casting here. Another one was Maya Boyd as Storm. I think what makes this casting an S tier casting for Maya Boyd is, well, one, the acting community or theater community is very happy about this. They have nothing but good things to say about her in terms of a lot of her Broadway shows. She can do it all. She can sing, she can act, she's very talented, okay? And I think this is probably the most difficult casting that Marvel had to make. Out of all the rumor mills that I would see for the casting of Storm, a lot of Storm's casting were like fan casting. I didn't really see anything like people reporting that it was going to be anybody else. It was a lot of fan casting saying it was going to be Jamie Lawson or Jodie Turner and everything. I never saw like a rumor from any other publications. It was a lot of fan casting for Storm. So Marvel knew how important it was to get Storm right. And I got to be completely honest. I think they smoked this here. They didn't do the was the colorism type thing where Storm's light skinned or anything. They went with someone who, a lesser known name, but someone who can really just I think carry the title of Storm very very well. Okay, so S tier casting there for me. I think that's enough for the S tiers. I think a lot of the rest of these here, let's I guess let's work our way up. As far as the B's, I'm gonna put Kit Connors here. I don't really have an issue with Kit Connors. I think I'm just, and I got to be honest, I was kind of sold on Cooper Hoffman from The Long Walk being Cyclops, but I understand he's not the ideal look for, which I thought he was the ideal look, but in terms of him being a little bit overweight, people say he's balding. So this is probably a better choice, even though Kit Connors does look like Cooper Hoffman if he lost weight. Let's take a look here. They look like the same person. I'm not gonna lie. This one looks like he's in shape, and the other one does it. So that's Cooper Hoffman. Oh, let's see if we get a side by side. Literally, almost like the same person. Just one's in shape and one's not. So I do feel like people were a little bit too hard on Cooper whenever he was rumored to be Scott Summers. And I know for sure I know for sure Cooper Hoffman is a good actor. I'm not sure about Kit Connors. I haven't seen him in anything. I would need to go watch a film that he's in, and maybe that's what I'll do. But as of right now, I do have this as a B for Scott Summers. I mean, he does look like Scott Summers or Cyclops, so that's why it's not going to go anything lower than a B. Okay. Next is Indy Never Ready. This might this might bother some people, but she's playing Rogue. She's playing Rogue, and this is a okay. This is a smart business move from Indie Never Ready and Marvel, and I say it's a smart move for both of them because she was also rumored to be playing to had being casted for the she was also rumored to she is rumored to have turned down the role of to be in the movie Heat 2, or she was rumored to turn down the role of Heat 2, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Adam Driver, and just a bunch of big name actors. And she went with, I think, this next short thing for her career, which is being in a Marvel film. So from business decision, I totally get it from her end. Marvel, she's a hot name. It's going to put people in seats. People love her from Obsession. We got to give her the role. We're not going to give her the role because I know originally it was said she was going to play Mystique, and maybe that's why maybe I can't see her as Rogue because I can actually see her as Mystique. But if you're Marvel, no, we're going to make you a hero. We want you to be in multiple movies. You know, Mystique's a villain. Who knows how often she's going to be in these films for the next 10 years or whatever. We'll get to that later down the line. But no, we're going to make you Rogue. I'm not saying she doesn't have the acting chops to play Rogue. I'm sure she'll do a great job. It's just one of those things where I have to see it. I have to see it. And I think that's okay. I know some people are a little upset, like, oh my gosh, you guys are turning on Indy after you guys were just praising her for Obsession. I think that's totally fine for people that, you know, maybe aren't sure to not be sure about something. I think that's okay if you don't like the casting. I'm not saying she's going to do a poor job acting. I just need to see it. So I have her at a B for that. Next is Christopher Abbott. I'm not too familiar with his films. He's been in a lot of movies. And to be honest, the only reason why this is staying at a B for me is because of this scene right here from this show called Girls. He shaved his head. Right here, as soon as I saw this here, he kind of looked like Professor X. I can kind of see it. Let me see here. He looked like he'll use some cerebral, like he'll who got the blanket inside the wheelchair. I totally see it. So I got him out of B. Not the fondest of that casting, but it's not the worst. He got the look. He's been in a lot of like indie films or in low budget movies. So he has also, I think he has a play or Broadway experience. So he can act. Okay. So I'm not going to put him down any further than a B in the casting for that there. Next is Adam Driver. And actually, we'll do Sadie Sink first. Sadie Sink, I've seen her in Spider Man. I know she can do it. Boom. I've seen her in Stranger Things. I know she can do it. I got her there. Next is Adam Driver. I have him at an A because I believe in his. I think he has the range to play Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister could be like the Loki of the X-Men series, meaning like he seems to, when I looked up his character, he seems like he's going to be traveling all through time, or he has different clones through different periods of time. So when I'm not saying he's going to be like funny and shit like Loki, but in terms of being that character that kind of can affect or has something to do with each different era, or with our new X-Men's lives and everything, I think he can fulfill that role. I liked him as Ben Solo or Kylo Ren in the Star Wars films before they fucking ruined his character in the last movie after the last Jedi film. And Adam Driver's just, like I said, he's a good actor, so I have no doubt he'll do this well. So that's pretty much my casting, or just why I'm saying this is probably like A minus if I'm looking at this, or maybe just an A in terms of the casting. Marvel they picked a lot of young actors, so we're gonna see these cast members for the next 10 to 15 years. This is the next generation of Marvel. We're going to get brand new stories. We're not going to get the same old Dark Phoenix saga we got from each of the Sony X-Men's, or Well, maybe we'll get another attempt at the Age of Apocalypse, a better version of that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the whole X-Men lore. I was looking up some of the X-Men stuff. I've been trying to watch videos, and there's a lot there. These motherfuckers be immortal. They be on different planets. They timeline, time travel. The X-Men be going through some stuff, man. They be going through some stuff. So I'm happy to see those stories being brought to life. I know Kevin Feige said they're digging through the crate, so we're not going to, like I said, we're not going to see the same stories we've seen before. And the director of this film is the same director that did the Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts is probably one of my favorite Marvel films post Endgame. And that director was Jake Shire. So I know for sure the way he was able to turn a cast of characters that you know nothing about, and he was able to in this, how long was this movie? 2 hours and 7 minutes movie. He was able to give these characters so much more depth. He was able to give these characters so much more depth and just a full character arc in this 2 hour and 7 minute movie that I know for sure with characters that we will actually know a little bit more about and might care about more, that he can do it with those characters. So I'm excited to have him as the director for the X-Men men. Well, I'm excited to have him as the director for the X-Men films going forward. All right, now that I'm done talking about X-Men, it's been a long time. I've should have been talking about these motherfuckers. I do want to discuss. I do want to discuss the Doomsday trailer. Doomsday. The Doomsday trailer came out as well that weekend. So we're not going to watch the full trailer. I'm just gonna kind of give my thoughts on it. So I'll say this: what I thought about that first Doomsday trailer is I didn't really like the first Doomsday trailer. I gotta be honest with you. I thought they were just playing all off our nostalgia of all these characters coming back into the fold with the Sony X-Men, and then of course seeing Steve Rogers come back. Cool. They're playing the nostalgia game. All right. Wasn't moved by it. You gotta do better. You're throwing a lot at us with this Doomsday movie. Make me feel something, Marvel. So what does Marvel do? The second trailer, they make you feel something. They make you real. They give the name. The name's called Avengers Doomsday, and this trailer really shows why it's Doomsday. We get a lot of Victor Von Doom in this trailer. The first 5 seconds of this trailer, already some heat, already off to an excellent start. You see Victor just sitting in this chair or farming with some type of spell going off right there. That's a chair, that's a throne. All right. You see him or his ore farming with Sue Storm gassing him up. What's actually, I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Gassing him up.
Victor was always the smartest
Victor was always the smartest guy in the room.
guy in every room. He used to be different.
He used to be different. This man was he was smart. He was different. He was gifted. Just gassing him up while he's sitting on the throne like a man, like a boss. Trailer's already off to a better start than it was in that first one.
He used to be kind.
He used to be kind. He used to be caring.
He used to be caring. And then everything Everything he loved was taken from him. I knew he was lost, but I did not realize that he was broken.
You hear the music. That shit sound like some Doom type shit. You hear it. He's saying, I realized he was lost, but I didn't know he was broken with the camera zooming in, panning in on him. You see one of his Doom witches off to the left with the ore farming with them. Just the leg right there. We just know they about that action with him and his armor ready to go to war. Like, look at this man right here. This trailer is already off to a better start.
Victor, did you do this? All of you.
Victor got my man Magneto crying. I ain't never see Magneto shed tears. The last time I saw Magneto shed tears was at Auschwitz. Whoo, we're gonna see how that goes in the clip.
Have lived. Stolen lives. But now you must give them back. Answer me, Victor! Did you do this?
He got, I ain't even know Pedro Pascal can yell. Can we go back to the scene real quick? Because Victor did some crazy shit. He did a whole flip. First of all, he broke out their shit, broke their glass. And what is he? Did he change clothes midair? That's what I call some ore farming sorcery right there. He ready to go to work. He ready to go to town on these Avengers.
Did you do this?
Hey, Mr. Fantastic, I'm gonna need you to ease up on my man's. Ease up on him. Did you do this, Victor? Did you do this? Like, he looking mad. Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Get off, Dr. Doom.
Did you do this? I swear you will beg for hell long before I grow.
And one thing I really do appreciate about these trailers is the quotes. I swear you will beg for hell long before I grant it. Like, that's some good writing right there. That's some good writing. And if you thought that was good, wait till Victor Von Doom says. Wait till what you hear what Victor Von Doom says next. Man.
Answers to me.
Hell answers to me. Jesus.
I am
Doom. Now that's how you move the people. They didn't do too much with this trailer. There wasn't too much done with this trailer. This could have been the first trailer. It accomplishes everything. It gives you the nostalgia. We still see all the old in cast members that were long forgotten from the Sony and from, Captain America from Endgame, Thor. We see everybody that was part of that next gen after Endgame in these movies, and we still get a lot of Doom just being menacing. You know? This could have been the first trailer, but no. They went with some nostalgia slop. But that was in the past, and let's talk about right now. Marvel, this was good. This is good. I'm impressed, okay? I'm impressed, and I'm ready for Doomsday. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Now, I do want to talk about some. There's some people that are saying that there's a doomsday theory that Doom Doom, there's two Dooms. There's the Robert Downey Jr. Doom, and there's the Killian Murphy Doom. All right. I'm gonna just debunk this shit right now. I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe there's two Dooms. I think there's just one Doom, and it's Robert Downey Jr. They paid him $100 million to come back. I don't think they would pay him $100 million to come back just to have someone else be the actual Victor Von Doom. I'm just not. People are talking about how Doom had two different eye colors. What was it, theory? People are saying there's two different eye colors when it comes to Doom and everything here. I'm just gonna say this: when Scarlet Witch uses her powers in these movies, her eyes change color to red. If I'm not mistaken, so I would just say that maybe the same thing with Doom when he's activating his powers. His eyes turn from whatever color they are to green for his, like, his magic and stuff. So I don't think it's two Dooms. I could be wrong, but I don't think Marvel is going to be wasting money on Robert Downey Jr. just to just to have two different Dooms. That's just me. So anyway, I think that's it. I'm still on Marvel's head about some how they treat black people once again, but we'll do that tomorrow. I'm gonna read this article and we'll come back with all my notes and findings because they're not done talking about it. Some more stuff came out today. But yeah, that's about it here. So I think I'm gonna end it. It's been real. I'm out.